I think we're all a bit fascinated by electric cars. I stumbled across people who swear by them. You overhear a conversation every now and again on the train or down at the gym, wherever, and somebody, I love my Tesla, etc. Well, you should be loving it. It cost you 50,000 quid, mate. You'd hope you would kind of love something about it. And then others, my neighbour, he's had many issues with his, mostly in terms of charging, etc. But there's an interesting quirk here, because the falling value of EVs has left a growing number of drivers in negative equity. This was Virtue Motors that said that car retailers were coming under pressure as EVs that are coming off finance agreements were found to be worth less than the loan they are attached to. Now, in most car finance deals, this isn't a problem for the driver because they've kept up the payments. The payments are meant to cover X amount and they can hand the car back. The lender that funded the leasing deal then kind of takes the hit, if you like. But it's not working out like that if the cost of the car has dropped dramatically. And there are some eye-watering examples where the car, after the lease deal, was meant to still be worth 35,000 quid or something, and it turns out it's worth about 17 grand. Such is the drop in the value. Now, some might generously argue that this is part and parcel of any new technology. Don't panic, things will settle down, they will equal out over time. I'm not so sure about this. I think there's a wider issue about the electric car revolution. The lack of clarity on their capabilities, their value, the straightforwardness in trying to run them, which comes to the second point about charging infrastructure. Many people with electric cars will tell you that it's anything but an easy ride. Not all of them, not all chargers do the same thing. For example, some chargers aren't even working when you get to them. And the biggest problem, of course, with chargers is there's not enough of them. So there's a plethora of problems in that respect. And on top of that, despite technology improving the range that many electric cars can do, it differs widely between models. There is no one size fits all. You can't say, oh, a full tank, as you would do, will get you from there roughly to there. Well, with an electric car, it's so largely dependent on what you drive, which year it was. You could have bought one a year before. It has half the range of what it would do today, etc. It's left many motorists stranded when the car runs out of juice and the nearest charging point is 50 miles away. And even then, it might not be working, or there could be a big old queue. There aren't as many charging points as there are petrol pumps, hardly the equivalent of sticking a couple of litres of unleaded in the tank. Has the electric dream gone flat? And I'm speaking to you if you're the owner of an electric car. And by the way, if you love the pants of your beautiful EV, fine, I'm all ears at this end. What I think the industry is struggling, I think there's two things going on here from a customer point of view. Why would I not buy an electric car? I think partly I don't feel confident in the knowledge that I have, and I think the knowledge that I have is kind of reasonable, based only on doing this for a living and speaking to so many voices over the last couple of years and so many owners over the last couple of years. I don't think I am confident enough to shell out quite a lot of money for something that I don't feel I know really enough about. There's also a sense of, is this the future technology? Is this, the Betamax, if you like, of four wheels? Are we going to discover there's a big looming VHS or even a Blu-ray around the corner when it comes to car technology that we are just waiting for? So there's all of that. And then there is the issue of the infrastructure. I think that's a massive consideration. Round my neck of the woods, people who've got them have had to have an electric thing fitted in their kind of driveway so they have access to charging it. When I take the dog for a walk early doors in the morning, I spot, a couple of cars plugged in to the side of the house. I don't know what that cost the owner, a few hundred quid, I would say at least, to have that thing fitted. And that might all work rather well. And again, it's new technology, benefit of the doubt, maybe it'll right itself at some point. I'm just sensing we are in a real quandary in terms of our knowledge, charging, what they do, will they hold their value if it breaks down? Am I going to... remember, if your battery goes, that is the equivalent of replacing your entire engine. So that's not going to be cheap. And even though many people go, well, yeah, but it doesn't go. It doesn't go. It doesn't go no more than your engine would go in its entirety. 0344 499 1000. Your experience of the electric vehicle, why you would never buy anything else but electric going forward, and the experience on the other side of that, that you've given it a good old go, but sadly, it didn't work out. Buyer's remorse, as it were, and you're going back to the unleaded. Now, we're told, give it a few years, you won't be able to, certainly if you want a new car, you won't be able to buy anything but an EV. That will be the only option you'll have, because there'll be no brand new petrol or diesel cars around. Remember when diesel was meant to be the saviour of everything? Don't buy unleaded, go diesel. How did they... Sorry, that wasn't that long ago, was it? And now diesel is, essentially like putting kryptonite into the palm of your baby. I mean, this is something you just don't do. It's a horror show of all the things you could be. Diesel, you dirty swines. How dare you put diesel in your car? But what, half an hour ago when they said buy diesel, don't buy... Did they know that they rediscovered something they didn't know then that they know now? Extraordinary. It makes you get your tinfoil hat on a little bit, right? So what's the deal with them? The wider question and anything pertaining to it,